Hey guys, Aaron Davis here, and I'm here to talk about the causes of the Great Depression in the United States. Now, the Great Depression is one of the worst economic times to ever take place in the United States. Um, and it's one of my favorite topics to talk to my grandmother about, who is 96 years old, and she grew up through the Great Depression. And I remember her telling me all the stories about as she was growing up and how her father lost her job due to the Great Depression, and how they had to move, and how they had to downsize. And then to this day, she can't eat bacon. She hates the taste of bacon because I guess some of the food packages they got for free food, it always had bacon in it. And for every morning for several years during the Great Depression, they always had bacon. And now today she can't even eat it. She says it grosses her out. She can't bear to eat even the smell of it, just because it brings back those memories of the Great Depression when she was a child. But anyways, not to get so sidetracked, going into really some theories about the Great Depression. And usually some of the sources I use comes from the great U.S. Department of State, and really their foreign policy, because that's one of the theories I talk about in my history course that I teach as a college professor. Um, when it comes to the Great Depression, there was a lot of different factors that ultimately caused the U.S. economy to falter the way it did during the Depression in the 1930s. Obviously, you have the stock market go to all-time highs, and you had an unregulated stock market. And obviously that was doomed to crumble from the beginning, just because of how everything was going during the Roaring '20s. But a lot of the things that I noticed that a lot of people seem to uh, skim over is not really the U.S. economy, but what was going on with the global economy before the Great Depression. And what you really need to look at is the ripple effects of World War One. Remember, when Germany surrendered, uh, the other European countries such as France and England um, tend to shifted the blame on Germany. Pretty much, the League of Nations just blamed everything on Germany. That was pretty much their surrender policy, was blame Germany for everything. And since they ultimately wanted to blame Germany for the cause of the war, they wanted Germany to pay back all of the debts occurred during the war. So since it was Germany's fault, Germany should pay for it. Okay? Well, here's the thing. Since Germany had to pay all this money back, Germany's economy was the first to actually suffer. Um, and again, Germany went through the German Great Depression was far worse than what the U.S. Um, Great Depression was, and ultimately the German Great Depression would give rise to Adolf Hitler. But anyway, that's another topic for another time. The German Great Depression would be so horrible that obviously they could not pay back all their war debts. Well, so since they cannot pay back all their war debts, England and France were kind of relying on that money to pay back their war debts. And they owed war debts to the United States. And the United States, again, did not have their money, because they were relying on money from Britain and France, who was relying on money from Germany. Again, it was a domino effect. It was almost like borrowing money, $20 from somebody to pay back another loan, when you're hoping to get that money, and turns out that person's $20 gave you was worthless. So again, it was just kind of this domino effect, and when all those dominoes finally went into the ripple effect, again, you would have also the leading up factors of the stock market, and then you would also have the Dust Bowl in Kansas. You would also, well, that was a little bit later. You would also have the food price and the farmer commodities market collapse as well due to surplus. So again, there was many factors, but again, that was one factor that I always enjoyed talking about, was the global economy, and the ripple effects of World War One. Alrighty, that is the end of my video, and feel free to comment away. Thanks.